There's a famous saying that goes, exercise is king and nutrition is queen. And what that means is that these two factors, your exercise levels and your nutrition, are key to attaining holistic health. And I think that there's a lot of truth to this, which leads into my third secret to becoming a holistic healer. My third secret is that in order to become a holistic healer, a true holistic healer, one needs to understand diet and nutrition, number one, and number two, orthomolecular nutrition. And diet and nutrition is, of course, understanding what is good to eat and what kinds of diets and foods are healing for the body, depending on what conditions you have. Sadly, doctors have very little to no training at all whatsoever in the field of nutrition when they go to medical school. So I think it's ridiculous when, when they say that you should talk to your doctor first about nutrition, because doctors know very little about nutrition. And I know this because I have several friends that are doctors, and they admit that to me. I had a friend that was a medical doctor who was my roommate once, and she said, I took one nutrition class in college, and I didn't learn much. And she got her nutrition information from the Seventh Day Adventist Church, which teaches veganism as the ideal diet, which can actually be very dangerous for people, especially if they have certain types of conditions or are prone to certain types of diseases. It can be very dangerous. So our students at Aruka.com learn various different diet theories that can be healing. And our students also learn about the history of why there's so much false information out there about all sorts of foods. For example, things that the American Health Association or the Food and Drug Administration promote are actually usually very often very bad for your health. And what drives them? Well, if you've been listening to me for some time, you know the answer. What drives them is profit, because there are powerful people who lobby these government organizations to promote false information about various food and agricultural industries. And you're probably thinking, because most people don't know about this, but meat and dairy have been villainized. Most people think that meat and dairy and saturated fat are extremely bad for you. When the truth, which is finally starting to come out in these days, but it became meat and dairy became villainized not too long ago by the media, mostly Western media, though. These lies weren't as big outside of America, just inside America. So the meat and dairy industry, although of course they're not perfect, there's bad quality meat out there, but to deprive yourself of saturated fat and meat and dairy is very harmful. It's harmful, and it is not even helpful for what they claimed that it would do, which is to prevent heart disease and strokes and heart attacks and whatnot. And I know that might sound really crazy, but at Aruka.com, our students learn all about the history and the studies that created all of these lies in America. Not too long ago, the common fats that were used for cooking were butter and tallow and these animal fats. Ghee is used in India, for example, but because of lobbyists and because of corrupt organizations, instead we started replacing those healthy animal fats with extremely unnatural, unhealthy substitutes that our ancestors never ate, which actually increase the incidence of cancers and do nothing to spare us of heart disease, as they lied to us and said that it would. And these fake substitutes are things like vegetable oil, like canola oil, safflower oil, soy oil, corn oil, stuff like that, as well as margarine, which is technically not even really a food at all. Most margarines are made with, especially the first ones that came out, are not even, they shouldn't even be consumed by humans at all. So these are the kinds of things that we teach at Aruka.com and that most medical doctors don't know. I was coaching someone once who had cancer, and she said, I don't understand why I have cancer. I've been a vegan all my life. And in the back of my head, I'm like, that's probably why she has cancer. So I started asking her, what kind of foods do you eat? She'll say, oh, well, I'll eat a salad. Like, last night I ate a salad and a baked potato. I said, oh, interesting. What did you eat on your salad? What kind of things did you put on your salad? She said, well, I had these, different types of vegetables, which weren't bad, and some salad dressing. I said, oh, well, what is in that salad dressing? And she said, I don't know. It's just, some brand from the grocery store. It was a very common brand, but if you look at that, the ingredients of that salad dressing, there are some carcinogens. There are many carcinogens in that. And this is one of the pitfalls that has come about through vegan diet. And like I said, there was that doctor who was my roommate when I was younger. And she got her nutrition information from the Adventist church. And she thought that being vegan was healthy. And so she thought that she could go to McDonald's and order French fries and whatever vegan food that she can get from McDonald's, and go to Taco Bell and, just leave off the cheese and sour cream and meat and just do the beans and the mild sauce and, whatever they put in Taco Bell and fast food. And she thought that was healthy. This is a medical doctor. She thought that being vegan and eating junk food from places like McDonald's and Taco Bell was healthier than eating meat and dairy like our ancestors did. So this just goes to show you how little even medical workers know about what is good and proper diet and nutrition. They look at oftentimes recent publications that are mostly just propaganda put out by people who are funded by certain corrupt companies in certain industries. Okay. And so it's partly the corporations and partly government. And then, your paycheck, where your paycheck comes from largely determines what you are going to hold as true in your mind and in your life. Okay. So diet and nutrition is so important when becoming a holistic healer. We have to dispel all of those myths. Okay. And the second thing that is related to diet and nutrition is orthomolecular nutrition. That's a term that I first learned it as. Other people call it orthomolecular medicine, or maybe a popular way to say it is mega dose vitamin therapy. Okay. So basically it's when you make sure that your body gets optimal doses of whatever nutrients that you are lacking in your diet for whatever the reason. Now, of course, it's ideal to only get our nutrition from foods, but because the food supply that we have, especially in the Western world, especially if we're not growing our own food and growing our own animals, if we're not growing our own food, then our our food is probably lacking in nutrition. And this is why there is a need for supplements. And some of the big ones that most people are lacking are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, magnesium, all sorts of different types of vitamins and minerals that we should be getting from our food. But because our food supply is so corrupt, we have to supplement, especially if we want to attain holistic health and healing. And again, same thing with diet and nutrition. Most medical workers, healthcare workers, don't really understand the power of these vitamins and supplements. And even when they do recommend these, certain vitamins and supplements to their patients, they often don't recommend a dose that is high enough to have any kind of healing effect. And so then they conclude that, oh, these don't even work. Well, it's because you're not using them therapeutically, because they don't know how to use them therapeutically. Doctors don't even study this in medical school. How would they know? How would they know? Nutritionists don't really study this. You have to specifically study the field of orthomolecular nutrition, which was spearheaded by two-time Nobel Prize winner, Dr. Linus Pauling. Okay. So these are the types of things that we study at the Aruka Holistic Life Academy: diet and nutrition and orthomolecular nutrition. And these things are so important and so powerful if understood correctly. So if you are interested in learning the power of these things, diet and nutrition and orthomolecular nutrition, for holistic health and healing, not just what's popular and what's standard and what's mainstream. No, what's popular and what's standard and what's mainstream is usually not therapeutic and healing. Okay, it's usually just propaganda. And again, just to recap, the first two secrets are, number one, you need to know who the top healers are and learn from them and stand on the shoulders of these giants. And number two, second secret was that you have to learn the foundations of holistic health and healing. And also you have to be able to identify toxins, especially the toxins that we face in this world today that most people don't even know are toxins. And then this third secret that I'm telling you about right now is, again, diet and nutrition and orthomolecular nutrition. So if you are interested in learning about these holistic health and healing methods and more, which I'll be sharing with you in future lessons, I invite you to visit our website at arukah.com, ARUKAH.com, and take your first steps to becoming a holistic healer and building a profitable online health coaching business.